tell you what, dedicated spine center, huh? This is great. We are back here on Healthy Living again. I'm here with Jen Gatlin, and she's the director of the Spine Center. And she was gracious enough to allow us a tour, which I'm really excited about. We've already had lots of action.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we talked about was the ability to demystify the process of coming to the hospital.
Right.
And so we thought, what better way to do that than to actually take a tour. So talk me through a little bit about what I'm going to see and expect.
Okay, well, you will come into this dedicated spine center, which means that not everyone is allowed in this area, only our spine patients and their families. So you will come with an escort through these doors, so we're going to escort you through in the spine center.
Okay, exactly. And I love it. It says healing in progress.
Yes. We love having a dedicated area for our patients to recover, limiting the traffic and the noise and all the normal commotion that goes around in the hospital. So this is a nice area just for our spine patients to recover and heal. When you first come in the unit, you'll see this is our nurses station where you have your own team of nurses and nursing assistants who are all busy in patient rooms at the moment.
And one of the things that I've noticed talking about that is you're very open to feedback.
Yes.
And I see a lot of different places where you all are saying, how are we doing? What can we do? How can we improve? Lots of things that have been interesting when we're talking about your team too, your Dr. Boatwright team and your Dr. Rubin team. They're pretty impressive.
They're amazing. I mean, we are so fortunate to have these two surgeons with us here in this hospital. They've trained at the best, finest facilities in the country, internationally, even Dr. Boatwright. So we're very excited and very proud of them. But yes, we are always asking for feedback. We'll ask you many times while you're here with us how you're doing, how your experience was, what can we do, most importantly, to be better. We want to always continue to improve.
How long have you been the director of this particular unit? And then does this extend your job past the spine unit into orthopedics also?
Yes. I've been with the hospital for 17 years. I've been the director of this program for the last 10.
Gosh, because I remember talking to you and you all have just grown exponentially. It's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Now, from a nursing point of view, are the nurses pretty much dedicated to this particular unit?
Yes, the nurses that you'll see here only work with our spine patients, so this is what they do day in and day out. So just like Dr. Rubin has picked and Dr. Boatwright have picked their surgical team, they've also helped us pick the finest nurses, I think, to work in this area, who all of us have a passion for orthopedics and spine.
All right, let's walk a little bit.
Okay.
So I know where we talk usually is the conference room.
Yes.
Correct? And somebody just dropped something in the conference room.
Yes.
I love it.
So
Whoever did the design, I think it's really important, and I think you're getting me as a bit of a designer occasionally too. I think that it's very soothing in here, and it looks really conducive to walking.
it is, and the physicians, the surgeons were actually involved in the layout of the rooms, down to that level of detail, how everything looks and how calming and motivating it might be to recover. But they've been involved in every aspect of this program. So.
Which makes a lot, yeah, exactly. We're just talking a little bit about you all.
She's great.
It's great, it really is.
So as we continue down the spine unit, we have our physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy gym is located within the spine center. So they'll be a big part of your recovery. So they begin and end their day in the spine unit, which is great. They'll be involved several times each day with your care while you're here with us in the hospital.
And again, Jen, you talked a lot about.
I really need a computer.
Come on. We're taking a tour, so it's fun for us to see all of you all too. So that's a good thing. Yeah, it's really interesting to watch everyone come, and they're like, TV or not TV, we've got our jobs to do. I love that.
There are patients here today, so excuse us while we go about our business. But I do want to take you into one of the spine rooms.
Yes, let's go. I'll let you lead the way.
Good news.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. We're showing off this fabulous unit.
Okay, so after you have surgery, you will come up to one of they're all private rooms, and hopefully you'll have a room with a view like this lovely room does. But you will have obviously your own room, own bathroom, a recliner chair to sit. There's some seating here for your guests as well. And there's a lot of information in this room that you will utilize while you're recovering. So.
What's funny that you're saying that is I'm actually looking here. I'm looking at care team. Look at this is really fascinating. Today's goals, numbers.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about involving your family, and the information that you're receiving can be a little overwhelming at times, especially when you're first waking up from surgery. So we utilize these whiteboards, we call them, to explain kind of what your plan is for the day. What our plan is for you, but we also ask you for your goal. What is it that you want to accomplish today? How can we help you accomplish your goals? Because this is a collaboration. You're in charge of the care, but this board we utilize a lot to kind of reinforce a lot of the education that we give you, and it's always an ongoing conversation. This board's utilized throughout the day.
Throughout this tour, it has felt very patient-centric.
Good.
I mean, because everywhere I've looked, it's our patients are important, families are important, medicine, even down to the pain, the symbolic pain, little emojis are amazing so that you can really assess. I like all of this.
Well, spine patients, obviously you have some sort of issue with your spine that's causing a lot of pain, and a lot of them are afraid, understandably, that surgery is going to be even more painful.
Right.
So we are very aggressively managing your pain and your comfort while you're here. You've been living with a great deal of pain, otherwise you would not have sought the treatment from a spine orthopedic surgeon. So we understand that pain is probably number one on your list of concerns, and so a lot of the conversation is focused around how you're feeling and how we can help you
with pain management.
So this whiteboard, we will ask you to grade your pain on a 0 to 10 scale, just to kind of help us gauge how well we're managing your pain.
Okay.
And that was actually part of our Joint Commission accreditation. That was something that we were monitoring to achieve that recognition, was that we were managing pain well to the patient's goal, not to our goal, not to what we think is reasonable, but what the patients were telling us they wanted their pain level to be. So
when people leave, is that one of the criteria? You've gotten your pain under control, and you're feeling maybe stiff and things are new, but you kind of know what you're doing.
Absolutely, we would not let you leave us if you weren't pain was not under control, and you weren't able to do some basic, your mobility was not where it needed to be.
We talked a little bit about the discharge plan, and I see it's up here, which I think is kind of interesting. Expected discharge date. So really, you don't have to leave a lot to the imagination. I know that. Well, that's true. I think when I'm in the hospital, the first thing I want to know is when am I getting out of the hospital, and that gets pretty much revisited every day, if you will.
Yes, absolutely. We start talking and making preparations for you to go home as soon as you get here, because we want to make sure everything is lined up for you, and that you have all the equipment that you may need.
What about return visits to the physicians? Do you all set up appointments so that I know right away when I'm going to go back, what the expectations are?
Yes, your surgeons have Dr. Rubin and Dr. Boatwright have a very detailed plan for you, and you will know all those elements when you leave us before you even get here. They're very good at explaining that, but you'll follow up with them in their office.
Okay.
Several weeks after surgery, but they're available by phone. We're available by phone if you have any questions in the meantime, but you will have a schedule of follow-up appointments with them.
Typically, do you have a nurse, a nursing assistant, both?
Yes.
And what are the roles of each of those? I think sometimes that gets a little confusing.
Okay. Well, your registered nurse will be the one who's doing a physical assessment, making sure your heart and your lungs and you're feeling okay. They do a brief assessment with you. They also manage all your medications. So you'll have IV fluids, some antibiotics, usually. You may or may not have some oxygen. So they're monitoring all of those items. The nursing assistant is here. They're kind of a team, a tandem team. But the nursing assistant helps you if you need help bathing or getting dressed for the day. They monitor your vital signs. several times throughout the day. So the nurse and the nursing assistant are kind of joined at the hip, if you will.
And then physical therapy, is that typically morning, afternoon? How does all that work?
Well, both.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you
You'll
can't get
see-
away from that, right?
No. That's they're integral to your recovery, and you'll see them right after breakfast, and then you'll do some exercising and some walking, and then after lunch, you'll see them again.
Well, I tell you what, the more we learn, the more questions we have. And you've been great at educating us because, again, knowledge is power. It certainly helps to demystify this process. You've been great. We
Thank you.
really appreciate the tour. It's fun to see all this. It's fantastic.
Thanks for coming.
We thank all of you for joining us here on Healthy Living. Please have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.